So I was talking to my client the other day that I was helping her to stop binge eating. She sent me this message. She said, I don't think I'm worthy of change. I think you should help someone else. And I was surprised. I was like, wait, why do you think you're not worthy of change? And she said, I feel like the more that I try to stop, the more that I feel negative about it. So I was like, what? You feel like the more you try to stop, the more you feel trapped. And she was like, yeah. So I don't think I'm worthy of change. You should try to help someone else. And I said to her, why did you expect this to be easy? And it's actually something that is tough that many people struggle with. You try to stop binge eating and you get surprised when things get tough. But you don't realize that you've been eating a certain way for decades, probably now. Maybe you are already grown up, you have children, you have lived on this earth for decades, and you have been eating a certain way for decades. And now, when you try to stop it, why on earth do you expect it to be easy? Let me give you a small challenge. I want you to try to breathe. Let's say the average person breathes like 20 times a minute, like just guessing. I want you to try to breathe 20 times in 1 minute. Like, now I want you to do that and try to do a controlled breathing, which is almost perfect for a minute, and tell me how it feels. I can guess that it feels uncomfortable, right? But why? You've been breathing for years. But that's simply because you've been doing it unconsciously. Like your brain has learned how to do it without you even knowing that it's happening. So now when you try to change it, of course it's going to feel uncomfortable. Same thing, you've had a style or a way of eating for years. And your brain has been doing it without you even realizing it. And now when you try to change it, of course it's going to be uncomfortable and of course it's going to be hard. So the first mistake that I think you should definitely avoid is just having the wrong expectations and expecting this to be easier. I'm not going to make false promises here. Stopping binge eating is difficult. Like, it's going to require you to get outside your comfort zone and you do things that you're not comfortable with before. And that is uncomfortable, that is difficult. Do not make it harder for yourself by expecting it to be easy. The second mistake that I think you should definitely avoid. So back to my client story. I asked her, why did you think that it was going to be easy? And she was like, yeah, I know it won't be easy, but it doesn't help when I get put down. Like her husband was not helping her and he was buying junk for some reason. And she was like, he's not supporting me and I feel like he's not helping me in my recovery. So of course I'm going to binge it again. And I was like, does your husband like force you to eat the food that he buys? Why on earth in the first place would you expect someone who is not on the same journey with you to do things that will help you on your journey? Like, there are some people who are going to help you, fair enough, but why on earth do you expect other people to help you who don't know your goals, who don't know what you're trying to do? Look, I'm not saying you hate people, but the big mistake that you might make, that other people have made that have stopped them from quitting binge eating, is expecting some random outside help. It's like expecting everyone in your family to now bend their will and help you stop binge eating. Like, that is not going to happen. It's funny how extreme this is, but I believe if you want to stop binge eating, you must not expect any outside help. Trust me, don't expect any help and it's going to get easier. Of course, you may ask for help, right? Of course, they may help you on your journey of stopping binge eating, but do not expect any help. It's the same thing that my client was dealing with, and it ended up holding her back, causing her pain, and she just felt powerless because her husband wasn't supporting her. But why on earth did she expect him to support her? I know I sound extreme, but that's just how the world works. And the third mistake is actually pretty tough. So I was talking to this lady the other day, and she was saying, I want to stop binge eating, but I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm actually feel like I want to lose weight, a ton of weight, but binge eating is keeping me fat. Right? She just said something like that. And I remember listening to her, and I could relate to her problem. And I told her, I want you to forget about the goal of losing weight. She was like, what? I was like, yeah. I want you to forget that goal of losing weight and just focus on the plan. Because really, when you are trying to lose weight and it's your main goal of losing weight after you stop binge eating, and now it's going to be all that you think about, and now you don't stick to the plan because the plan takes time. And if you want to lose weight fast, it's not going to work. So the third mistake that people make is expecting fast results without sticking to the plan. It's funny how I told this lady, I was like, you don't lose weight, you focus on the plan, and if you follow the plan, you inevitably lose weight. So same thing, like if you want to stop binge eating so that you can lose weight, then you have to stop thinking about the weight loss and just start thinking about the plan. So if you want to stop binge eating for once and for all, you must not expect any fast results, and you must expect this to take a very long time. And the earlier you accept that, the earlier you start to actually make real progress. If you want me to teach you the slow but effective way to stop binge eating, then click the link below and I'll see you there.